I'm Professor Sports Cards, and you know if you've been watching that I've been preaching vintage NBA hoops. Vintage NBA, that's where it's at. You're talking about 1957 tops, first set tops ever made, 1961 Fleer, first set Fleer ever made in basketball for those companies, and then 61 and then 1969 tops, and from there tops goes on. Those three sets. You can count 1948 Bowman, maybe the first ever basketball set, not another one too. But this video is not about basketball. You've been watching, you know that's what I've been preaching. But the other side, I said there was two things. You should go check out the previous videos if you haven't seen them. I said there was two things that you should be collecting right now. Everything else, who knows, or it's high entry point. Even vintage hoops could be high entry point, but not like a Mickey Mantle or something like this, or a Jackie Robinson. Those things are more expensive than some vintage hoops. But where I'm going with this is Vince McMahon. WWE Vince McMahon. If you've noticed, wrestling all of a sudden in the last few years, not just now, Prism looked nice, was expensive, Select looked nice, people were buying it. It's a fun open. Wrestling is gaining a little momentum. Wrestling's been around for a long time, but it didn't get nationalized. It was just a regional thing. You didn't, you know, it was much different in the 70s and 60s, and prior to that, it was just a local, regional thing. And in the 80s, a guy named McMahon, Vince McMahon, his father, I believe, as well, took wrestling national. And WrestleMania, first WrestleMania in 1985, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. You're talking about some of the biggest wrestling names out there. These guys like Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, came from that type of circuit where they were working a certain area until Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon went from what, 1985, I believe, if you want to say is his rookie card, to basically today, 2022. So you're talking about everybody knowing who Vince McMahon is. If you watched wrestling, if you didn't watch wrestling, Vince McMahon is one of the, turned 77, so he's one of the older relevant people in the sports. And I know you could argue, hey, WWE's not baseball, football, basketball, but cards are picking up steam. It's been around a long time. It's clearly a winning product. And the sports cards they're coming out with are nice. And I gotta say, they're fun rips. I'm not the only one. People are choosing that over spending this Select, maybe $150, $200 a box, over spending $400 to $600 on NFL or NBA. So anyhow, the vintage, I don't know if you consider it vintage, but 80s wrestling, specifically Vince McMahon, but Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ric Flair, any of those early guys, they're the pioneers. That's it. And wrestling will stay this way for a long time. And that's almost the beginning. I'm sure there's wrestling cards way prior, but it's not the same. Vince McMahon did something new in the 80s. He made it I mean, WWE is global. So he did. He turned it from being a regionalized thing, guys just competing in Florida, guys just competing over here, into The Rock, Stone Cold, Roman Reigns, whatever. But that's it, man. It's vintage hoops and wrestling, specifically 80s wrestling and anything Vince McMahon. If you can get his 1985 stuff, it's affordable. I don't think people know what they have. So if you made it this far and you actually watched me, or one of the early subscribers or early watchers, and you made it 4 minutes in, I'm telling you, if you have a McMahon from 85, keep it for now. You know, he's not valued at what he should be, especially when you see Andre the Giant rookie cards going for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars from 1982. Is Vince Andre the Giant? I'm not sure, but I never saw Andre. A lot of people never saw Andre. Vince McMahon meant a lot to any wrestling fan from the 1980 to 2020, a 40-year span. Incredible. So that's it. I don't have much else to say. You'll see some stuff here on Vince McMahon 1985. Some more stuff on his rookie card. And that's what I say go after. If you're looking for something semi-affordable, again, do I want the competition on trying to get Vince McMahon stuff? No. But hey, you made it this far. You're an early subscriber. I appreciate you watching. And that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a sports card collector. But I do think Vince McMahon is highly, highly undervalued.